What's up YouTube, Gemini Johnny back again with another episode of Sunday Scaries, the series where we take a look at some of the internet's scariest and most unexplained scary stories. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe. I'm still hovering around 70% of the people watching my videos aren't actually subscribed to my channel, and I appreciate you watching, but it also makes me feel good to watch that little number go up. Gym Crew shirts are live. They're in the shop now. Go check them out. I like them. I think they're dope. Mine's on the way. I can't wait for it to get here, so you'll be seeing that in a future video. But yeah, go check them out. I made them as cheap as I possibly could while maintaining decent quality. So as many people from the gym crew that wants them as possible can get them. Not how those words go, but you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's down there in the store. Check it out. You'll like it. Thanks. Appreciate you. Love you. All right, now without further ado, let's jump right in. First story is about night terrors or sleep paralysis and the lingering effects that could have on your life. And I just thought this picture was funny. One of my many experiences with night terrors, sleep paralysis, left me with memory loss, and now I have to live with the fact that my body kind of operated without me for a week. I was about 7 years old and woke in the middle of the night to find this smoky creature crawling up from the bottom of my bed. It was terrifying, as you can imagine, and I booked it for the landing. Which is weird for me because looking back, I would have expected it to be sleep paralysis. I still get these occurrences often, but I could move perfectly well on this occasion. I reached the top of the stairs outside my bedroom and another one was slowly making its way up, step by step, out of the darkness of the floor below. I froze and looked around for somewhere else to run, but I was pinned because the first one was making its way through my bedroom doorway toward me. Both of these smoke demon things were advancing on little 7-year-old me, so I did the only thing I could think of. Scream the house down. Mom comes running just as I start to go blind with smoke creeping into my vision. Blood pressure was wonking out. It was the same smoke I get when I stand up fast. Mom ends up soothing me, taking me back to bed, and at some point she leaves and lets me go back to sleep. Next morning I apologize for waking her up last night. She has no idea what I mean, and we're both confused. I tell her, I woke you up on the stairs. I was having a nightmare. She informs me that happened over a week ago, not last night. I have no memory of that week occurring, not a single shred, but apparently I had gone to school every day, played with my friends, eaten my dinner, done my homework, had my baths, all without knowing that I had done it. Apparently, I'd been kind of quiet during that week, and my mom assumed I was having trouble at school, which was not an uncommon experience for me. But I still, to this day, don't remember anything after that night, and it gives me the creeps to imagine that my body has done things, gone through the motions of everyday life, without me having any knowledge of doing it. Dun dun dun. Super creepy though. I mean, I personally lean kind of towards the direction that sleep paralysis and sleep paralysis demons are just in your imagination. It's part of your dream state. I don't know. They're probably doing some research on it. They probably know. But I think it leans more towards the biological than it does the spiritual, I guess. That being said, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the only time shadow people can touch you or hurt you or do anything to you is when you're asleep. Maybe there's a handful of bad shadow people that are out there terrorizing people in their sleep. Have you ever had sleep paralysis? I've never personally had it, so I really am talking from complete lack of knowledge. I only know what I hear about, so I don't really have any experience with it, but I would love to hear your experience and what you believe it to be, so let me know in the comments. Now this next story is either a ghost that likes to play practical jokes or the weirdest B&E I've ever heard of. The other night, my wife took our child out for several hours. In that time, I wrapped up work, then left to get dinner around 4:30 p.m., got home around 6:30, played with our dog, and did a few chores. Then my wife got home about 7:30, we relaxed a bit, and I headed for bed around 9 p.m. Usually up early with our kid. Maybe 2 minutes after crawling into bed, I get a text from my wife with a picture of our dry erase menu board on our fridge. See, usually at the start of the week, my wife will fill out a rough menu for dinners that week. I remembered seeing it earlier in the day and it was filled out as expected. The picture she sent was of the menu all scrambled up, like the letters were all moved everywhere, with random words and squiggles throughout. Some of it was her writing, but others were incomplete words or rewritten words in handwriting that wasn't hers or mine. This freaked us out, as our 1-year-old certainly didn't do it. The county sheriff showed up and swept the house and found nothing. Nothing was out of place or missing either. He was spooked by it a bit too. He said they never get a call out in the country where we are and recommended we change our locks. We hadn't, as the couple we bought our home from were elderly. So we did that night. Dang, bro, if you're living out in the middle of the country, the first thing you need to do is change your locks. Change your locks, make sure all the windows are locked, do a sweep of the home, make sure you ain't got nobody creepy living up in the attic or down in the basement, or in the crawl space, or in the walls. You don't want none of that. We've all seen those videos, heard those stories. Those people with little things misplaced here and there. Who ate the cheese tray? Why is the remote over here? I swear I didn't leave this cup of water here. You know, and then they put up a security camera. Lo and behold, they got some dude crawling out of the damn wall. Terrifying. Other than that, lots of people in the comments under that one were saying check for carbon monoxide poisoning, and I think they did. But basically no resolution. They never really found out who it happened to, which is pretty wild. But they didn't give a whole lot of information other than that. This next one might be my favorite story in today's video. One of the shorter ones, but it really makes you think, damn, that could happen to me. Up to this day, I'm still looking for a logical explanation to this. This happened in 2003. So my ex and I were checked in a coastal resort where the cottages were apart, like 200 meters away. Around 11:30 p.m., while we're both drinking beer with the lights turned off around 11 to 11:30 p.m., while we're both drinking beer with the lights turned off and only the TV on, the doorknob suddenly rattled violently, like someone was forcibly trying to get it open. There was no double lock on the door, so my first reaction was to jump from the bed and block the door with my weight. The force of my landing must have been heard from the other side, but the twisting of the doorknob continued. By this time, I was already pressing my face to the floor, trying to look and estimate how many people were outside the door via the small gap between the floor and the bottom of the door. There was nothing. Not one pair of feet or anything. But the doorknob just kept rattling. I should point out that the gap between the floor and the door was enough for me to see the outside, or at the very least notice any change in shadow or light caused by movement. But there was nothing. The turning of the doorknob then stopped, but I never heard any footsteps or any other noise. Waited a few minutes and opened the door. Everything was quiet. No footprints outside or in the sand surrounding the cottage. We just noped out of there immediately. Smart couple. Don't ever be afraid to nope out of somewhere that doesn't feel right. Yeah, I don't think so. You come shaking my handle without no feet in the middle of the night. Yeah, guess what? I'm not staying at your damn resort anymore. That was not in the brochure, all right? You didn't say anything about ghostly rattling my doorknob in the middle of the night. That's a different hotel. It's Hotel Cecil. It's not on the beach. How bad would that suck? You're so ready to relax and be on your vacation and have a good time, and you got to deal with ghosts and spirits and shit or whatever. I'd be pissed, dude. I'd be so mad. Like I would, once I was done being scared, I would get so angry. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I've been saving. Do you know how much money I spent on this damn vacation? You know how much money? You know how much per night that resort was? And they got damn ghosts. They better hire a damn exorcist to come out here and clean this thing up. Not nice. 1 star. Now you're lucky I gave you that. The sheets were nice. The pillows were lovely. The towels were warm when we got here. I've never seen that before. But there was this one little issue. That's wild. So this next one I hadn't planned to do, but I just read it and it's super creepy. It's in response to that last story, and they experienced something quite similar. And I have to say, the invisible thing banging or moving things very aggressively is one of the scariest, like, unexplained things to me. Like, that is horrifying. 'Cause at least if it's, I don't know, if it's a ghost or, you know, something that like presents itself, you at least can have an idea of what you're dealing with. It's just invisible. You don't know what it is. It could be a ghost. It could be a demon. It could be an angel. It could be an alien. It could be a Bigfoot. You don't know. Because we don't know how any of these things really work. Any one of them could be invisible. It could be it could be the Loch Ness Monster. For all we know, the Loch Ness Monster could be invisible. That's why we can't find it. And it's going around banging on people's houses and shaking people's doorknobs. All right, let's jump into the story. So this is very similar to something that happened to me in Indonesia. Only it was a glass sliding doors every side bungalow. Outside sunken bath, a couple of meters of clearance around it, and a path. I'd got up real early, 3 a.m. to see sunrise at the volcano some distance away through jungle and road. I'd got back early, maybe 10 a.m. I was so tired I lay on the bed in my shorts, curtains open on every side, and just fell asleep. I was woken by this absolutely insane banging on the glass sliding doors. Bear in mind, I could see all round through the glass, but for like the 4 wooden posts at the corners. But nothing there. I jumped. I mean, that's a really mild description for what I did, and stood in the middle of the single space just looking for where it was coming from. And I could see the windows shaking as they banged. It was proper fast too. Not a regular banging, but bang, 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 bang. Just this uninterrupted salvo of something I couldn't see hitting the window so hard the glass was moving. And then it started going around the cabin, banging as it went. Like I say, I could see it bending the glass as it did, though it was hard to track at first just because it was so weird and fast. I darted over to the bedside and called reception, shouting for them to come down. This was a threaded pathway away from the main hotel and its old Dutch colonial building. And they came. It stopped after a few minutes. I waited still standing. They arrived. And when I told them what it was, the porters and butlers, yeah, it was quite a posh hotel thing, just crouched down and put their hands on their heads and began crying. A couple of them hightailed it right off in the car and didn't come back to work. One of them, a lovely guy called Kanang, told me a bunch of stuff about the villagers who had been angry that these cabins had been put up. Apparently only half of them, cabins 1 through 6, had been built. But he always gets calls on the switchboard from cabin 12, which is as yet unconstructed. And when he picks it up, it's just a humbled hiss and voices. So whoa, leave my vacation home alone. Do not haunt my vacation home. That's where I go to get away from all the hauntings. No, my regular home's not haunted either. That's tight. Yeah, crazy stuff. I don't mess with foreign ghosts, bro. Give me the American ghosts. Those foreign ghosts scare the crap out of me. They got all those jinns and all the Japanese folklore monsters. Whew. I don't think so. Lady with floating around with her guts hanging out and stuff. No, not a fan. But I would love to go to Indonesia. I hear it's a very pretty place. But I'm gonna need to find out where all these damn haunted cabins and stuff are, so that I don't accidentally rent one of those, because man, I ain't trying to have my damn, don't ruin my vacay, okay? Yeah, and I don't know why, but the locals freaking out when they hear about what she's been going through, dude, I would lose my shit at that point. Up to that point, I would be thinking that I was going crazy. I would for sure be thinking, I'm nuts. There's some reasonable explanation for this. I'm being paranoid and crazy. And then I'd see them start crying and I'd be like, yo, what the hell's happening right now? I want to go home. This next one's a real quick one, but I think you guys are going to like it. I used to work a sales job that had me out in different neighborhoods at random hours of the evening. One time, I heard a low moaning noise coming from the other end of the street and turned to see some kind of dark figure moving toward me. It kept moaning in a way that sounded human, but you only hear in zombie movies. As it got closer, I noticed it wasn't walking, just shifting forward at a constant pace. And it looked like it had the outline of 2 heads, one just below the other. I felt like a total idiot when it ended up just being a woman pushing a disabled man in a wheelchair, but for about 30 seconds it scared the hell out of me. I thought that was good. This next story is not only a scary story, but it's also a miniature history lesson. So strap in for the terror of Operation Wandering Soul. If there's anything more effective than physical weapons to defeat enemy soldiers in a war, it's psychological terror. That's just what US troops employed during their invasion in the Vietnam War. In Vietnamese culture, giving a proper burial to a loved one in their birthplace ensures their contentment in the afterlife. If not, it is believed the deceased soul will wander aimlessly as it tries to find its way home. US forces in the Vietnam War were aware of this belief and took advantage of it to cause terror. Knowing that the Vietnamese people were worried many of their soldiers would die far from home and unable to be properly buried, US forces employed a freaky psychological scare tactic known as Operation Wandering Soul. The 6th Psychological Operations Battalion of the US Army broadcasted disturbing moans of disembodied voices throughout the Vietnam jungle where the battles took place. These fake tapes were played on a series of loudspeakers or dispatched from overhead planes. For many Vietnamese soldiers, hearing the cries of supposedly lost souls piercing through the dark was nothing short of terrifying. The scare tactic was inspired by the Ghost Army of World War II, a unit of inflatable tanks and personnel carriers used to fool German intelligence forces into thinking the Allies had more troops and tanks than they actually did. These hair-raising messages that played in the Vietnam battlefield successfully convinced many nervous Vietnamese soldiers that their fallen comrades were skulking invisibly among them. Many of the fake ghost messages recorded were created with the help of South Vietnamese allies and voiced pleas to the soldiers to give up the fight. My friends, I have come back to let you know that I am dead. I am dead. Don't end up like me. Go home, friends, before it's too late. Very dramatic. The tapes were convincing enough to send hundreds of men fleeing from the mountains. Of course, not all Vietnamese soldiers fell for this spooky psychological operation. But even in the midst of war, it still struck a chord. The soldiers who remained fired in the direction of the eerie voices, reminding them of the very real possibility of death that awaited them if defeated. And this article even has a video. You already know what that means. It's reaction time. The following is a recording of the Wandering Soul, or Ghost Tape number 10, used during the Vietnam War. It was used in the psychological operations against communist North Vietnam. It supposedly plays a voice of the dead Viet Cong wandering aimlessly through the night, I don't think I'm supposed to say that. I don't think you're supposed to say that. With the Vietnamese belief that their unburied dead soul will wander forever in pain and suffering. That's like real sadistic, dude. Buddhist funeral music. Daddy, daddy, come home with me. Come home. Daddy, daddy. Who is that? Who is calling me? My daughter? My wife? Your father is back home with you, my daughter. Your husband is back home with you. My wife, but my body is gone. I am dead. My family. Tragic. How tragic. My friends, I come back to let you know that I am dead. I am dead. I am in hell. Just hell. It was a senseless death. Senseless death. How senseless. How senseless. The drama, bro. But when I realized the truth, it was too late. Too late. Friends, while you are still alive. There is still a chance that you can be reunited with your loved ones. Do you hear what I say? Oh, man. There is still a chance that you can be reunited with your loved ones. Do you hear what I say? Go home. Go home, friends. Hurry. If not, you will end up like me. Go home, my friends, before it is too late. Go home. Go home, friends. Fedi. Fedi ban. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing that's... Fedi. Fedi. It's almost over. I think it's just annoying sound for the rest of this. Sorry to the headphones users. Try to make that not be atrocious in your ear holes. But obviously, I will admit, if that was like good quality and coming through decent speakers and happening in the middle of the jungle at night, shit yourself terrifying, you know? Just fun things we do during war, you know? And like, we know about that kind of stuff. What kind of psychological stuff are they doing that we don't know about? Speaking of which, video coming out in a couple weeks on conspiracy theories, and we talk about some of that. So, keep an eye out for that. All right, for this last one, it's another little history lesson, but it's one of my favorite like dark history stories and a place that's absolutely on my bucket list of places I would like to visit. So, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm not going to put the words on the screen. It's just going to be me reading it. So let me know in the comments if you hate this, if you prefer this without the words on the screen, or if you don't really care either way. Let me know in the comments. Just, I don't know, trying some different stuff out. And we'll probably get through it a little quicker. So, or I will. In the quaint town of Fall River, Massachusetts, nestled among foliage, lies a house that holds a dark secret. This is the tale of the infamous Lizzie Borden house, a place where mystery and horror intertwine to create a chilling story that has captivated imaginations for over a century. It was August 4th, 1892, when the peaceful facade of the Borden household was shattered forever. Andrew and Abby Borden, respected members of the community, were brutally murdered in their own home. Their daughter, Lizzie Borden, quickly became the prime suspect in this gruesome crime. Lizzie Borden, a woman of peculiar demeanor and questionable reputation, found herself at the center of a sensational trial that gripped the nation. The evidence against her was circumstantial, but the public's fascination with the case was insatiable. Did she wield the axe that ended her parents' lives? Or was she merely a victim of circumstance caught in the web of a heinous crime? The Lizzie Borden house stands as a haunting reminder of that fateful day. Today it serves as a bed and breakfast for the brave souls who dare to spend a night within its walls. But beware, for those who enter may find themselves face to face with the lingering spirits of the past. Visitors to the Lizzie Borden house report eerie occurrences that defy explanation. Footsteps echo into empty hallways, disembodied voices whisper in the darkness, and objects move of their own accord. Some claim to have seen the ghostly apparitions of Andrew and Abby Borden forever trapped in a state of unrest. The Lizzie Borden house offers guided tours for those curious enough to explore its haunted history. Guests can wander through the very rooms where the murders took place, each step tinged with a sense of dread. The infamous staircase where Abby Borden met her untimely end sends shivers down the spine of anyone who dares to climb its steps. As night falls, the atmosphere within the Lizzie Borden house becomes even more ominous. Guests who choose to spend the night may find themselves plagued by nightmares or awakened by unexplained noises. The spirits of the past seem to come alive, their presence felt in every creak of the floorboards and every flicker of candlelight. But amidst the fear and uncertainty, there is a strange allure to the Lizzie Borden house. It draws in thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts from far and wide, eager to uncover its secrets. For some, it's a chance to experience the supernatural firsthand, while for others, it's an opportunity to glimpse into the darker side of human nature. Whatever the reason, the legend of the Lizzie Borden house endures, a testament to the enduring power of a mystery that refuses to be solved. So if you dare to brave its haunted halls, prepare yourself for a journey into the unknown, where the line between fact and fiction blurs, and the spirits of the past await your presence. So boom, there you go. That's the story of the Lizzie Borden house. Yeah, I don't know, I've always, found it fascinating. In one of the darker parts of history. And, like the article said, it's people, paranormal enthusiasts, thrill seekers are eager to uncover its secrets, as am I. I guess I'm one of those. But I don't feel like I'm really a thrill seeker. I guess I'm probably a paranormal enthusiast, but I'm not really a thrill seeker. But I don't even really consider myself a paranormal enthusiast. I'm just curious. I'm so curious about existence and just what all of this stuff is. What all the paranormal, what all the cryptids, what all the conspiracies, what all the unexplained stuff is. I'm just so curious to know because I hate not having answers for things. Which is how conspiracy theories thrive, actually. Fun fact, been learning a lot lately. Doing research for my next video. So, but yeah, Lizzie Borden house, super sad story. And yeah, I mean, she probably did that, right? They didn't have any cameras or anything back then, but I bet if they did, that would have been a open and shut case. They would have caught her buying the axe at the store. Well, I think it was the family's axe. But, I don't know. It's so wild. Like, why would she do it? Maybe she just went crazy. People do be going crazy, bro. People do be going crazy. But there you have it, folks. Another episode of Sunday Scaries in the books. We did it. We done it. We're doing it some more. Keep an eye out for my video dropping in the next couple weeks. Probably going to call it like Conspiracy Theories 101 or something. I don't know. Probably something a little catchier than that. But I am breaking down the history of conspiracy theories, where they come from, ones that are true, ones that actually, I'm not really breaking down any that aren't true, but I'm breaking down some that definitely were true. Talking about how to spot, BS, for lack of a better term, when you're reading about conspiracy theories, how to source information, all that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a fun one. I think it's really interesting topics, and you'll probably learn something. I certainly have been in doing my research for this video. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Don't forget the Gym Crew shirts are live. So go grab one of those. I think they're like $22 plus whatever their shipping is. So it's not, like I said, I try to keep them as cheap as possible. I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but I know money is tight. So, I try to make those affordable. So hopefully everybody can get one. And if I ever see you out, maybe you'll be rocking the Gym Crew shirt. Dude, that'd be so crazy. I would love to run into somebody and see them rocking a Gym Crew shirt. Yeah, but mine's on the way. Can't wait. I'll show you guys once I get it. Well, I've I heard reports that these are good quality, so we'll see. So I guess I should wait and see before I start telling you guys to go buy it if it's good quality. But hey, if you like to gamble, no. Everything from this website's been really good so far. So I will also be doing another subscriber submitted scary stories soon. I have a couple that I've seen land in the email. So if you have a story or an unexplained event or something that happened to you or someone you know and you would like to share and potentially be featured in a future video, send it over to my email, geminijohnny369@gmail.com. Put it right up there for you. But it's also down in the description below. So type it up, send it over, and I appreciate you. Drop a like before you get out of here. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Remember that stat I gave you earlier? 70%. Boom. Get that down a little bit. At least 1%. If you enjoy this, the entire playlist of the Sunday Scaries is down in the description, but you can also go to my channel and find playlists for my reaction series to creepy TikToks or conspiracy theories. I passed 100 videos, I didn't even realize it. So I've been doing live streams again. Those are super fun. So I'll be doing those more. I'm going to try to get to do those once a week and hopefully get them on a specific day, but you know, keep an eye out. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss one, because I don't even know when I'm going to be doing them. So don't forget you can join the channel to get access to all the past membership videos, all the past Member Monday videos, as well as all the past live streams. So yeah, join the channel if you want, or don't. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Either way, just know that I appreciate you and I love you. So until next time, stay creepy.